It Takes Two, a brand new game meant to be played by you and your friends. Let's take a look and find out if it's everything it said it was or a little less. Oh, and one more thing. Welcome to the night shift. Let's get you guys clocked in. How's it going, everybody? It is I, your one and only, forever and always, Shift Leader Logan, and I'm here once again for Review Friday. If you haven't joined us for one of our reviews, this is where we take games old and new, and we take a look at them and find out if it's really worth your time and hard-earned money. Now today, we're taking a look at the brand new game, It Takes Two, a cooperative giant. And it's really fun, guys. It is really, really fun. So, as always, 4 points that we look at: story, gameplay, audios and visuals, and of course any bugs or issues that we ran across the way. So, let's not waste any time and get right into it. The story of this game, as I've played up to it, is fantastic. I love the fact that it's touching on a subject that not a lot of people really tend to try and talk about, because it's really touchy, but it touches on it in such a lighthearted way that it really makes you think about it, and that's something I can appreciate, especially from being involved in like theater and all that stuff, where that's kind of, it does the same thing. Like let's bring some attention to this in a lighthearted way. And I love the fact that you play as Cody and May, and you want nothing to do with each other, but you're forced into this. You have to get all this. You have to work together. So, the synopsis of it is, right, Cody and May, that's the two characters you'll play as. They are husband and wife in real life. And they, albeit, right, it's not working out for them. You know, he complains about these things, she complains about those, so it's just not working. So they're just going to go ahead and get a divorce. Well, their daughter is so upset about this that she has these dolls, and she's trying desperately to try and keep them together. Well, somehow, Cody and May magically turn into these dolls, and you play as one of these two, and are forced against your will by the great book that is Dr. Hakim, I believe. I think it's Hakim. I may be wrong. Give me some credit if I'm wrong. But they call him the book. To go on these magical adventures and fix different issues that you have in your life, that you've had in your lives. And it's just such a fun experience, because I played with a fellow friend of the show, Angie, and she is very new to gaming. And so it was really fun to see her take on different scenarios. And it really was interesting to see how user-friendly this game is, because you know, sometimes you can get into the games nowadays and they get really difficult. So, that being said, right, let's go ahead and jump into gameplay, because I'm not going to go too far in depth on story, guys, because I don't want to ruin anything, because it is such a fun game. For the price it is, I really highly recommend getting it. But, gameplay. In my experience, very smooth, I enjoyed playing it. I liked the ability to double jump and dash. I liked the idea that it forces you to work together. I may be doing something here, but it's not going to work unless she's over there doing something that, you know, correlates with what I'm doing. There's a lot of that. So communication is key, and that's kind of funny because, again, just in this game, communication is key, but in a relationship, communication is key. I'm honestly down to the point where I'm like, this game, like any person I'm seriously dating or not. Like, it's like, okay, here we go. We're playing this game. Why? Because I'm telling you right now, this is going to tell me whether or not we're going to work out. So, but the game is fantastic. It's really fun to play together. It's really fun to just enjoy. It's smooth. I mean, this is one of those games where you just kind of don't take it seriously. You just kind of play to have fun. And it was really interesting to see how things work and see things differ from what something else that might do the same thing do. And it's really cool. Now, that being said, right, now we got to get into the nitty-gritty of audios and visuals. And I'll say this. Visually, it looks really good. I like the visuals of it. There's a couple spots where it looked kind of weird. But aside from that, I love this whole cartoony vibe and how everything still has this level of detail. Like the yarn has yarn, like it looks like yarn. The clay looks like clay. The wood all has grain in it. Not to mention the book. I mean, the book, he cracks me up. I mean, he is straight. I mean, he's unapologetically himself. I mean, he's constantly tossing his hips around. He's, you know, his arms are pages. I mean, that's just cool. Like, visually, it looks good. The whole story, like the whole game, looks stunning. I mean, the different lights, the different colors, everything just works really well. And I've noticed as I've played, the further in you go, the more warped it seems like reality is. Like, when you start, it looks fairly normal, just your smaller size. But as you go, things get a little different. So, it just seems interesting to me. I do like the fact that they incorporated highlights of the characters. So, like, if there's something in between you and your teammate, you can see them. But other than that, I mean, visually, this game is very crisp and clean, and it's just really nice to look at. Audio-wise, I nitpicked a little, just a little. I mean, I have to, right? I mean, I'm reviewing games for a reason, and I nitpicked a little just because I felt like at the beginning it just felt a little flaccid. Like, I don't know, we just weren't into it. But as we got in, it felt a little bit more organic. It felt better, and then again, I mean, this is me being super nitpicky at this point. Because either way, this game is getting a very good score from me. I mean, this game is really fun. Now, Angie is obviously not here to talk about her side of it, but she did tell me what she thought of the game and what she felt about it. And I felt like it was important for you guys to know those things, because maybe you have a kid that's getting into gaming and wants to try a game, and this, you know, might be a contender because you guys can play together. Or maybe you have a friend or a partner that doesn't necessarily play games and you're looking for a game to play together. I highly suggest this game. And she does too. Here's why, right? So, Angie, she's not played games hardly ever. I think as long as I've known her, since I've known her, she's probably played maybe like Wii Sports. And then aside from that, we played a little bit of Call of Duty Zombies just because she thought it looked fun. But aside from that, nothing. Nothing aside from that. So, she jumps into this and she doesn't know what to do. And from what she was telling me, she said that she really loved the story. The story was engaging and interesting for her to listen to. She also said, gameplay-wise, she felt like it was very easy for her to start to figure out what to do and how to do it. She really liked the whole aspect of the beginning mission is this super long tutorial that helps teach you what's expected of you. And they give those hints along the way anyway, so even if you were to forget, it's still there. So she felt like it was very, very user-friendly. Not to mention, she felt like it was always engaging, like she never was bored playing, because each mission or each area of the map is different and is challenging, and she's always having to think outside the box. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, we were not the best at this game. I mean, we were trying our best, but there were a few moments where we kind of had a couple like, oh well, that was kind of we could have done better on that one. But that's the whole point of this game, right? It's just to have fun and enjoy it. And I, I kind of half wish I didn't enjoy it, just so I could take them up on that whole, if you don't like the game, I'll pay you $1,000. But when you like something, you like something. This is just such a fun game. I really enjoyed it. And I really honestly would like to play it with the others from the channel just to see how well we jive and just have fun. But I mean, it was really fun and we enjoyed it. And obviously you can see the gameplay and stuff and see us try different stuff out. So it's been really great. Now, did we run into any bugs or glitches along the way? I didn't notice any gameplay wise, but I did notice at the beginning again, and this is just me being super picky, is that the voice, the audio sync, geez, if I can speak, the audio sync seemed to be a little out. It was there, but it wasn't quite in sync, and that's just me being super picky, just for the simple fact that I want you guys to be aware of something, and I don't want you guys to be like, oh, well, you said there was none, but I noticed that. I mean, and I'm not saying you guys are, but I just noticed it. So, whew, just take a breath here. That all being said, It Takes Two, right? You know I love the game. You know I enjoyed it. So, where does it score? So overall, right? Get the game. It's a fun game. Just get it. It's $40. Yeah, I know. $40 is a lot. Believe me, I know. I work a job. I got bills to pay too. So, but if you're looking for something new to play and buy, it's definitely worth it. It's on the cheaper end. Not to mention, right? I was waiting until now to mention it, but I love this motto. Friends play for free. This is one of those games where I feel like it needs to be a norm, and we, the audience, need to encourage this kind of behavior. This developer has decided that the game takes priority over profit. And the way that they decided that was, you buy the game, right? You have 5 friends, but you want to play with all your friends. But maybe you can afford this $40 game, but maybe your friend Jack can't afford it because he's on a $7.25 an hour salary and he's barely making ends meet. Well, guess what? Jack can definitely play this game because friends play for free. All he has to do is have basically you have to have the game. And then there is a free companion app that allows him to join friends' games. So he can play online with you for free. And then turn around, there is local play. So that's where how we did this. Me and Angie, we got together and we played locally. So this game is fantastic in that regard, and I wholeheartedly believe that we should encourage that kind of behavior. Because as I've said to Evan and Angie, and I think I've even said it to Alan, this year and probably next year and the year after, just because things are getting delayed, are the years of co-op. We are finally getting back into co-op, and I'm enjoying it immensely because we've got games coming out of the wazoo that are all about playing with your friends, and I just enjoy that so much. So, back to our score, right? Overall, this game's getting a great score. So, story. From what I've played of it, this game has a wonderful story with lovely twists and turns. I love how everything plays back to each character's downfalls. And I love how the environment changes and just, forces the story to progress even further. So for me, personally, I'm going to give it a 9 for story. Just a really great story. Really great. Really driven really well. It's the center, front and stage focal point. Now, gameplay. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. Angie did give me scores too. I asked her for scores. So, Angie's score for story, she felt it was really engaging and really fun. So she went with an 8 on story. But she doesn't focus too much on the story. Gameplay, now. We're finally ready for gameplay. Gameplay for me was very fluid, nice and easy, and it just felt natural. There was no hidden quirks or kinks, something new. It was simple and clean, and it was right. So for me, gameplay for me got an 8. Yeah, it's a little lower than some of you might think I would have scored it, but 8 felt right. Now, Angie agreed with me. It was very nice and simple, and it was easy for her to understand. But for being new to it, she did struggle a little bit, and so she kind of felt like it was more like a 7.5, maybe 7. And I feel like that's fair because she's coming from that new gamer standpoint. And I mean, what can you do? I mean, if it reads, it reads. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So, on to audio and visuals. I don't want to dock it too much because, again, I think it's beautiful the way it is. But I keep going back to that audio sync, and I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I haven't noticed it since, so I'm going to say a solid 8 for me on that. I enjoyed it. It was fun, and the visuals were really pretty and really detailed, and I just love that cartoony feel. And the audio of the game was really interesting. I like the music. I like the sound effects. I like, the voice actors once you're in the game. They really seemed into it, and so it was really fun. So, and again, like I said, I didn't really run into very many bugs and issues. So, audio and visual, like I said, an 8 for me. And then Angie kind of agreed with me, and she really liked the visuals and didn't really pay much attention to the audio. So, she gave it an 8 as well. So, for Angie's score, we got an 8, a 7.5, and an 8. So, she rounds out an 8. I had a 9, a 8, and an 8. So overall, we're going to give this one a 8.5, let's say. So, not a bad showing by It Takes Two. It's a fantastic game. Be sure to get it. I promise you won't regret it. I can't promise you $1,000, but I can promise you you'll enjoy it. So, that's all I got. I'll see you guys next time.